Alex Rodriguez. Let's talk about it. Does he deserve the number 13? Does it deserve to be retired? This one is a difficult one. There's a lot of factors that go into this. In a lot of ways, it's all up to whether or not the Yankees are willing to put a steroid user, they're able to legitimize a steroid user. That's really the real question here, because accolades wise, of course, he deserves his number retired 100 times over. 600 home runs, most of them in pinstripes. He's one of the better players of all time if steroids were not a thing. Only problem is steroids are a thing, and this is where we get into a little bit of an issue. Where do we go here? So first off, we're going to go through the reasons why he should make it. He should be in there with that number 13, probably with a plaque. We take a look at some of his accolades. He almost hit 700 home runs. He was up to 696. He got 3,115 hits. So he's past the 3,000 mark, past the 650 home run mark. And in his time in New York, he had 309 homers, 979 RBIs, an average of 291, on-base percentage of 386, a slugging percentage of 535, which equals out to a 920 OPS. He was a machine, right? He was a full-on machine at the plate. He had some iconic moments against Boston. He's had some iconic playoff moments. He helped us win a ring, 2009. He is overall a legend. Now the bad side is he got suspended for steroids twice. Usually those types of players do not get heralded in baseball. Now, what is my take on this? I'm not opposed to steroid guys getting into the Hall of Fame. I'm not opposed to Barry Bonds being in right now. The fact that steroids add strength, right? They do not add the ability to dissect whether or diagnose whether or not a curveball is coming or a fastball is coming. It does not help diagnose that in a matter of less than a second and react to it. It does not help with the placement of the bat, hitting the ball, and hitting it out. Steroids help with strength. So yes, some of those home runs, maybe if they were wall scrapers, you could say they may not have gone out without steroids. We'll never know. In terms of the skill it takes to play this game, for you to master this game, it's going to take a lot more than just putting some needles up your ass. That's sort of my point. There's totally an argument here that, at least in my opinion, there's a legitimate argument that what the Astros did in 2017 is worse than any steroid user. I could make that argument because, again, with steroids, they only add strength. They only add certain physical traits. This is not a sport that you can win based off of sole physical traits. Like in basketball, LeBron James is so dominant because he's 6'8", 250, and he's able to drive into the paint and dunk on people. That's using your physical strengths to your advantage. This is not a sport where like you can use only your physical traits. Do they help a lot? Yeah. D. Gordon made a career off of being extremely fast. You had guys who made a career off of just having a great glove due to their size. Think Brooks Robinson, for example. But this is not a sport where like you become an all-time great. LeBron James is either one or two all-time in basketball. D. Gordon is, and he's a good MLB player, nowhere near the Hall of Fame. And no, I'm not comparing the greatness between D. Gordon and LeBron fucking James. What I'm saying here is like LeBron James, for a while, yes, he has other skills. I'm not saying it's only his physical traits, but a lot of his early success came from his physical traits, going and just driving to the paint and dunking over people. That was a big part of his game. Yes, in his later days now, he's developed a jump shot. But again, a lot of his greatness over time came from that physical trait that he was just able to overpower people. Baseball, you can't do that. You gotta have at least multiple facets of this game, and you also have to have a good mental. Like I said, to be able to diagnose whether a curveball is coming or a fastball is coming, that's all up here. That's all mental. This is more of a mental game than anything. And really, the smartest players prevail. You look at what Aaron Judge did this season, a lot of it was due to the fact that he was able to diagnose what pitch is coming. That home run he had against Jordan Romano, where he hung that slider, later on in the year, they were throwing fastballs in that situation. And Aaron Judge still hit those fastballs out. Think about the Pittsburgh series where he hit that home run. That was a fastball he hit instead of the slider. See, these are things that, like, in here, you have less than a second to react. It's all about reaction time. It's all about you having the wherewithal to diagnose these things. Pure strength does not win you anything in this game. And steroids give you pure strength, or in terms of some steroids, some people would argue, some steroids like EPO give you pure stamina, help you. But again, these are not things that make you great in this game. These are things that assist your other skills in making you great. Which is why I think, if someone really wanted to put that needle in their ass, let them. It's not going to change much of anything. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before steroids. People don't realize that. A-Rod was on a trajectory to make the Hall of Fame before the steroid accusations. Now, was he on steroids? No one will ever know. We know exactly when Barry Bonds started, right? He was a small, skinny guy in Pittsburgh, and then he goes to San Francisco, and he becomes a big, fat guy with a bald head, his head suddenly became bigger for some reason. You know exactly when Barry Bonds took steroids. We don't know exactly when A-Rod started, but again, I also don't think A-Rod's career goes much differently without him. Yeah, they assisted him, and I'm not saying they're not any help. Like, yes, they do help in some respect. I'm trying to make the point that, like, these guys are great because they're great. These guys are not great because of steroids. So to me, I mean, I bet you could kind of see where I'm going with this. I believe A-Rod should get his number 13 retired. Do the Yankees want to do it in terms of would there be backlash to A-Rod? I think from older fans, yes. I think a lot of the younger fans would embrace the fact that you look at his baseball reference, he's one of the best players to ever play this game. He deserves to be remembered for that, and he won't be remembered by the Hall of Fame. So A-Rod probably will not be inducted into the Hall of Fame and be honored for the career he had in Major League Baseball. But I think the Yankees need to give him the respect he deserves, and that is to put him in their retired numbers section, and also to put him into Monument Park with a plaque. He is one of the staple players of the 2000s. Without him, we may not win in 2009. So I believe he deserves it. But what do you guys think? Do you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.